Hi everyone. So it's day 4 of Three Rivers challenge, of the pantry challenge, and tonight's menu is going to be sausage rigatoni. I've been making this for a long time. This is actually a favorite of my good friend Paula, who I made for one New Year's, and we went to their place for New Year's and she loved it. So every time I make it, I think of her. So normally we make this with pork sausage. I don't have pork sausage, I have beef sausage, so that's what I'm going to use. So let's get started. Okay, so over in my Dutch oven, I have a little bit of olive oil heating, and I'm just going to chop this beef sausage into some chunks. And I'm going to do this in probably 2 batches. Okay, so some of it's probably ready. Chunks, taking the casing all off, and we're going to do it probably in 2 batches. Can't get the casing off that one. There we go. So we're going to get this cooking in the Dutch oven. Thought I'd go ahead and start filming this now. It's nice and quiet here. The kids are busy. Our lives go back to semi-normal tomorrow. Our youngest goes back to school tomorrow. We call it going back to school. He's going back online for a couple of weeks. So I've been in the kitchen all day because I made cinnamon roll dough and sandwich bread dough. And the cinnamon rolls are for my youngest. He loves them. Okay, so we're going to fry this up. I think we're going to add a little more. This is very lean. So this recipe originally came from Canadian Living magazine, a holiday edition, and we love it. It's very good, very filling, and it makes quite a bit. So we'll be eating this for leftovers for a while. So we're just going to get this cooked up. Well, I think I can put all of it in there as much as I thought in that Dutch oven today. Okay, so we're going to brown the rest of this up, and I'll be right back with the next step. Okay, so the beef is all cooked, so we're going to transfer the beef into this bowl. Put this over here. And you're supposed to drain off any fat, but truly there is very little fat here, so I'm not going to worry about that. So I have 1 whole white onion chopped up, and 4 cloves of garlic minced, and we're going to put that in here now. Okay, so that's what's in this bowl. That's 1 whole onion and 4 cloves of garlic. I think I mentioned we like garlic. So, and about a teaspoon of Italian seasoning. So we're going to cook this for 5 minutes or so until the tomatoes get nice and, onions get nice and soft. And once these onions are nice and soft, I'm going to add 2 20-ounce cans of tomatoes. Sorry, I'm going to add the tomato paste first. So I'm going to add half a cup of tomato paste to the onion and garlic once they've cooked for a few minutes. And then I'm going to put, it's a half a cup of tomato paste, which is about a can. I have this. So that's about a half a cup. We're going to let this cook for a few minutes. Okay, I'll be back after I add the tomato paste. Okay, so I added the tomato paste and it's been cooking for about 3 minutes. And now we're going to add 2 cans of diced tomatoes. You can use whole tomatoes, but you will have to break them up. And we're only in day 4, and I already know that one thing I'm going to have to do more of next year, or this year, sorry, for canning is more cut up tomatoes, more canned tomatoes. We do not have a lot. Guess I just made a lot of sauces and stuff this year. Though I think I still have a big bag of tomatoes in my freezer that I didn't get around to processing, so they won't give me a lot. I might get two jars, two good sized jars of tomatoes out of them, but we'll see. Okay, so we added them, and let me see, add tomato and gravy. So we're going to bring this to a boil. Once this has come to a boil, then we add the sausage back into it, plus all the juices that accumulated in the bowl. And then you're going to cover and simmer for an hour. Okay. So once this comes to a boil, I'll add my sausage with all the juices and drippings that have come in here. I'll cover it and I'll let it simmer for an hour. So I'm going to see you back here in about an hour. So I shared yesterday, I'm not sure, yesterday, I shared anyway, how the sandwich bread I made. And I linked the recipe and everything, but something happened to the video, the part where I show you after it's risen in the bowl, what comes next. So since I'm making another loaf, I just thought I'd show you. So after it's risen to double, that only took about a half hour, I take it out, and you're just going to get it into a rough square, flatten it out a bit. I've greased my sandwich loaf pan. Okay, and then you just roll it into a roll. And we're going to pinch this closed. Okay, and then it's going to go into here. Fits perfectly. I just give it a little more shaping once it gets in there. But it will fill this out. So then it stays in here for another half hour. And then the video I already shared takes off after that. I'm not sure what happened. It's just gone. So I thought I'd just show you where I'm making another loaf anyway. So yeah, so that's what it should look like. Okay, and it's gonna take, if it's anything like the one I made the other day, it's only gonna take a half hour. So there, sandwich bread. Okay, so it's been a bit longer than an hour. Got busy doing a lot of other things, but that's what's great about this. You can just let it simmer till you're ready. Honestly, after an hour, it still had a little too much liquid in it anyway. So, okay, so I got some boiling water going here, and we're going to cook the rigatoni pasta for about 7-8 minutes till it's tender, and then we will drain it. And I also have, so you're going to need 2.5 cups of shredded mozzarella cheese. I think that's more than we need, but we love cheese. But I had a bunch of this left from New Year's Eve that we end up not using. Actually, I think it was from Christmas Eve, and it's good for a couple more weeks, but I don't really know anyone else what I'm going to use it for. But it's the little, I hope I'm saying this right, bocconcini cheese, or boccatini. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but it's soft mozzarella cheese, and I thought, hey, might as well throw it in here and use it. So I'm just going to turn this water down a bit. Okay. So you're going to add 3/4 of it into your sauce. I guess I should show you the sauce. So there's our sauce. Smells really good. Just going to put that hot thing over there. So we're going to let this go. And when this is done cooking, I'll show you what we do next. All right. So the pasta's got just about a minute to go. And your oven needs to be 375 degrees. Mine's already heated because I've been baking bread all day. So it's good to go. House smells really good right now. Just about ready to drain. Okay, we're going to drain this. Okay, turn that on. We're going to put the pasta in the sauce. Actually, I'm going to use this cheese. Okay, I'm going to give it a stir. Hopefully it all fits in here. Stir it up. There's the cheese. Oh, it smells so good. It's been a while since I've made this. There it goes. So you're going to stir this all up, and then we're going to transfer it to a greased 13 by 9 pan. Okay. I don't think this is 13 by 9, but it's nice and deep, so we're going to go with it. Now, this is going to be fun. Ooh, we are going to be over just about right, I think. Yep. Last little bit there. A lot more of this moisture will evaporate. All right, we're going to top it with the cheese. There we go. So normally I would serve this with a salad, but we are all out of our fresh greens, and I just started sprouting some seeds, some microgreens a few days ago. I was a little late starting them, so we won't be having them yet. But I did whip up some garlic butter. That's just softened butter. Add as much or as little garlic. What is it? Garlic. It's not garlic powder. That we have granulated garlic, and stir it all up. I'll show it to you in a second here. Yes, we are going to use all that cheese. But whoever complained about too much cheese. Okay, so that's going to go in a 375-degree oven for about 30 minutes. Okay. There it is. So this is my butter, and like I said, I just put, we like garlic, so I put probably a good heaping tablespoon maybe worth. That's probably about 3 tablespoons of butter. It's not an exact measurement. It was softened, and it's salted butter too. Just cut it all up, and we have some leftover sandwich bread from the other day because I made another loaf today. We're just going to toast that up and then slather some of this on, toast it up. Easy peasy garlic bread to go with the sausage rigatoni tonight. Okay, so our sausage rigatoni has come out of the oven. Oh, as you can see, it's just my husband and I who are eating this, so this makes a lot for us, but that's okay because on my menu plan for this month, I have leftovers on Thursday. So there we go. I really should have kept a little bit of cheese to sprinkle on top, but that's okay. Yummy. And a piece of garlic toast. And there we are. End of day 4 pantry challenge. We'll see you tomorrow for day 5. Day 6. Three Rivers Challenge Pantry Challenge is here. Yesterday was day 5. I didn't film anything for supper because we just had leftovers from the night before. The fridge was getting a little bit full of leftovers, so I thought we better start eating them up. And by the time we got down all our errands yesterday, and my husband and I had a late lunch, I wasn't in the mood to cook anything. So tonight we are making pork tenderloins. I'm going to be putting these in the oven. These are mashed potatoes that I processed last year and put in the freezer. I bake them, and then when I take them out, I'm going to be mashing them up, and I add a couple of things to them that the family just loves. So they're going to go in the oven at the same time, 370 degrees. I didn't show making the marinade for 2 reasons. One, it's a new recipe I'm trying. If it doesn't come out good, I'm not going to share it. And 2, you need at least 8 hours for it to marinate, 8 hours overnight. And I realized this morning that I forgot to start it last night. So I rushed to get it done this morning. I was still in my pajamas, everything. So I just whipped it up. It's very, very simple. And like I said, if it comes out, I will share the recipe in the description box. I also did not realize that when we bought these tenderloin, let's see if I can show them to you right there. I got these from Costco, 2 in a package. It's an even better deal than I thought. But still, it makes 2. We don't need 2 for supper. So I'm still going to cook them both, obviously, because they thawed out. And I doubled the marinade recipe. And I'm going to cook them, and I'm going to freeze a whole one. Wrap it up, freeze it, and it will stay 2 to 3 months in the freezer if you wrap it and protect it properly. So there, I'll have a protein anyway all done for a supper in the next little bit. So it's going to go in for 375 until eternal temperature is they say 145. We usually are anywhere between 140 and 160 is what we like. You don't want to overcook pork, especially the tenderloin, or it will be dry as a shoe. It'll be like eating a shoe. It'll be dry, tough, not good. So, and then I'm going to put some peas in the steamer. So that will be, I'll show you what everything looks like when it comes out, and that'll be the end of day 6. I forgot to mention, I covered my pot. I'm going to cover it for the first 20 minutes, and then I'll uncover it last 20. It takes about 40 minutes usually to cook a tenderloin this big on 375. And I also forgot to mention, I drizzled my sweet potato pieces with a little bit of liquid coconut oil. So there, I'll show you how it all looks when it comes out. Good morning. Day 7 of Three Rivers Pantry Challenge. We have a lot to do this morning, so I'm up early, which I always am, but I'm going to get started on supper tonight, so it's all done for when I come home today. And it's Friday, so it's pizza night. My family loves this homemade pizza. I can't even remember the last time we bought pizza other than that dairy-free one we get for our daughter sometimes that she likes. So, let's get to it. So we have 1.5 cups of warm water here between 110 and 120 degrees. And we're going to sprinkle a teaspoon of yeast over the water. Okay, and we're going to let it do its thing. And while that's going, push up my sleeves here. It's cold here this morning. Alright, we're going to get our flour. So we need 4 cups of flour. Seems like I'm always making dough in this house. 2. I'm going to take this off for a sec. 3. And 4. And this makes 2 pizza doughs. It makes enough for 2 pizzas. And a teaspoon of salt. And we're going to need a 1/3 cup of olive oil. Okay. While I wait for the yeast to do its thing, I'll pause ya, and this is it until the yeast is ready, and I'll bring you right back when it's time to add it. Okay, so the yeast has done its thing. I don't have the thing on. So we're gonna pour the olive oil into the flour. Mix that up. And then pour in the yeast mixture. We're gonna let that go for a few minutes. KitchenAid mixer does all the work for you. Isn't it great? Okay. So, and this is a stickier dough than maybe what you might be used to. So don't panic if it's sticky and you're thinking you have to add more flour. It's perfect. So this is what it looks like. And it's sticky. I'm just going to get it into kind of a ball. All right, and I have my bowl here greased. A little bit of grease in there. And I'm just going to toss it around so the top gets a little bit of grease too. Cover this and I won't have to worry about it until we come back today for supper. And then I'll also make my own pizza sauce, which I will show you. And that will be supper tonight. So we will see you after a very busy day. I'm going to get a very, very strong hot cup of tea, and then we have to head out and start our errands. So as I said this morning, every Friday night is pizza night in this house, and Grace is responsible for the sauce. So she's going to show you how we make it.
Hi, everybody.
Okay.
This is pizza sauce, and the first thing that we do is we take a can of tomato paste, we open it, and then we put it into our pot here.
And yes, I buy tomato paste. I've tried making my own. It is not worth it. It takes forever. So it's not that expensive, and yes, I buy it. We get it at Costco. I'm just gonna come over this way.
Okay, so once you get it out of the can, we fill the can about halfway with water. And we pour that in there.
While Gracie's pouring the water, I just want to mention the dough. After it rose all day. Oh, bad English, Grace. Okay, after it rose all day, I cut it in half. So that's it's two pizza doughs. And we're just going to let it rest while we're making the sauce. While Grace is making the sauce. Don't worry about, there, you forgot to stir it.
Okay.
Okay, Grace, the water you added, does it have to be half a can or can it be more?
It can be more if you want it like thicker.
Thinner. More water for thinner.
More water if you want it thinner.
But we like our sauce a little bit thicker.
Yeah.
So that's why we just do half a can.
Okay. After you've added the tomato paste in the water, you take a teaspoon and we do basil.
Yep.
So,
And we do
basil.
not quite two. Nope, another one.
I've been doing one.
Oh, have you been doing one? Okay, we'll leave it at one for now. There's no real recipe for this. This is just to our taste, so we're gonna do one.
Basil.
Yeah, that was a pretty big one. Okay,
And
one's
then
good.
Take oregano and do the same thing. Teaspoon. The oregano. And I just like to wash this off first before I stick it in places. Okay. Let me take. How much do you do of the honey? Like 2?
I do usually like one heaping, and then we taste it.
So,
It's just to take a little bit of the acidity away, and
the honey.
yeah, so that's one good heaping teaspoon. And then we'll wait and taste it and see if we just need a touch more. We like a sweeter pizza sauce too.
Okay. The honey. And then, is this thing open? Oh. Yeah.
Yes, that's my new salt container, because if you've seen my last video, I had a little accident with the other one.
And then we add just a little pinch of salt.
Okay.
And there we go. And all you do is mix it.
Do you have the burner on?
No, I don't.
Yes, you do need to cook it. That's the wrong burner.
Oh, dang it. That one. I knew that.
So we do it around maybe between 2 and 3 for the first few minutes. Yeah, to get it cooking, and then we'll put it on low. And we'll cook it for 10 minutes or so. You just want to get that tin can taste out of the tomatoes and make sure everything's incorporated.
It seems to be.
Okay, and do we need a little bit more water, or are we good?
I think it's a good consistency.
Okay. So.
I'm not an expert. But...
Yep. So we're gonna cook that. So we're going to cook that for about 10 minutes, like I said, and we'll taste it. If it needs a little bit more honey, we'll put a little bit more honey in. And meanwhile, oven, 500 degrees. I know it seems really high. Trust me. You're going to preheat your oven for 500 degrees. And the trick to this being amazing pizza is we're going to cook this in a cast iron pan. So I need to get my cast iron pan. Sauce is done. We added just a pinch more honey to the sauce, and now it's perfect. My cast iron pan has been heating up for a good 10 minutes. I'm just going to let it stay in there a few more minutes while we get our dough ready. So I'm going to take off my rings. Get my apron on so I don't get flour all over me. My roller. Oh, I need a little bit of flour, I think. Okay. Gonna get my dough shaped. Yes, we definitely love pizza in this house. Well, 3 of us do. Our son doesn't eat it. I would love to have a pizza oven. It's another ever-growing thing on my wish list. Okay, so you're just going to roll this out to whatever size your pan is. Just a tiny bit smaller than your pan. That's probably good. Give me like a little bit of a crust here. Definitely don't want it too big. That looks just about perfect. Very carefully take out your hot cast iron pan. Woo! She's hot. And you're just going to put a little bit of oil. I'm using olive oil. Just a little bit. Not too much. You want to move quick because you want the pan to stay hot. spread that around a little bit. It was probably about a tablespoon, maybe a tiny bit more. And I'm going to get my dough. This is the tricky part. So I kind of fold it in half, lay one side down, and it will start cooking immediately. I did great. That's the perfect size. And then I take a spoon and kind of, see if we can move this back here so you can see. I kind of squish up a little bit so we get a little bit of a crust. And this is why you want to make it just a tad bit smaller than your actual cast iron pan. Okay. Oh, that's perfect. I did good. Whoops. It's falling. My cheese shredder over there. There. See, there it is in the pan. Okay. Right. I'm just going to put you a little bit further away and see if that will help it. All right. And then we're going to take some sauce. I'm going to take about half the sauce we made because we have 2 pizzas. Now, if you only want 1 pizza, and I always have good intentions on a Monday, making up a bunch of these and freezing them, and I never seem to. Though, truth be told, it doesn't take that long to make it on Friday mornings, so, but you can absolutely freeze the other one if you're only going to need 1. Though we don't eat both pizzas, all the pieces. I always like to have some for lunch the next day or the day after, especially where it's the weekend. So, that is about the amount of sauce. Oh, I guess you can see it. So that's about the amount of sauce we want. And we gotta get the cheese going here. Oh, I need it because I gotta get this back in the oven. So obviously this is to taste, however much cheese you want. I will say we're very boring. We don't go for a lot of toppings. We do like toppings, but with the pantry challenge too, I don't really have a lot. If I'd been thinking, I would have I froze some ham from Christmas dinner. I should have took some out. We could have had some ham. Our daughter definitely just likes the cheese. And I do like bell peppers and tomatoes, but I don't have any of those things fresh. And pretty much canned tomatoes. And of course I forgot to take peppers out to thaw, to put on, but it's okay. I don't mind having just cheese. And my new pressure canner, I will be canning some bell peppers. So I always have some ready. Okay, so there it is. This goes in the oven for this size that we have here. It usually takes between 12 and 15 minutes. Again, it's to your taste. So we're going to set the timer for, I'll set it for 12. And we'll be back when it comes out of the oven. 15 minutes, and it is good to come out. Oh, look at that. You'll never want pizza another way again. So, I have to ask you all, in this house, we all love the bubble. I don't know why, but we get so excited when there's a bubble. And there is definitely 2 bubbles on this one. So I'm going to take it out and look. Oh yes, nice and brown on the bottom. And I just let it set. I will bring you over to see it. And there she is. I'm going to stop the moving tripod. There it is. And see the bubble? 1, 2. Yeah, we fight over the bubble. Any of you fight over the bubble? Oh, I have to turn this off. It didn't turn off. There we go. The dog's walking around, so the darn thing picks up the dog. So there is day 7 of the pantry challenge. 7 days so far. We did it. And I've gotten so much out of my freezer already. I've already emptied several jars, so we're doing good. So that's the end of day 7. Hope you're all having a great week. We made it through first 7 days of 2022. We'll talk to you all soon.